I'm not happy, but go ahead.
I didn't bring it.
You're not pretty either.
Better than I was. That's a good haircut yesterday.
Shelley.
Shelley, Lavender.
I'll read that later. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't read the idea.
Let's see. We've got this already, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe
Go
so.
back to where he was at.
It's right before Jeannie.
Yeah, he jumped
Right before
ahead,
Jeannie.
remember?
Oh, well.
Buildings and grounds.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Where do I need to file this?
Don't know.
Your letter.
Which one place I filed the one he gave me?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, it's all mine. I think one of the biggest increases that I'm asking for is for personnel to have a part-time person. I feel that the position that I hold, it's really important to have two people. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's very difficult to keep up with everything because you have the grounds and the building, and so I would like to be able to hire a part-time person for 16 to 20 hours a week. That is if we can find it. But and I think it's really important to have somebody that knows what I do, because I don't think a lot of people realize everything I do. And if health-wise or anything would happen, somebody needs to be trained that can come in, that knows the boilers, that knows the elevator, that knows everything that goes on. And it would be nice to have somebody, if I need time off, that I can take time off and they can open and take care and clean the bathrooms. And I mean, Deb helps and opens and stuff like that, but there's nobody that's doing my stuff. Gary came and mowed for me last time, but I think it's important. And that's what they did with Carl. That's how I got started here. Because Carl needed help, and then, so they hired me in at part-time to help Carl, and then Carl ended up getting very ill and not able to work, so then I took over, so.
Okay.
Part of that salary, Shelley and I figured for 20 hours a week is what the increase was at $10 an hour.
At $10 yeah.
So that would be, if you figured that out, that would be the part-time position, and then the rest of that would be for the full-time position salary.
Okay.
The others, we just tried to increase stuff where that, if they do the tax lid, so this will get us through. We got a major project coming up. We have a leak under the sidewalk on the west side. So that's
Did you
one
find
thing.
it?
Huh?
Did you find the leak yet?
Yeah, we know where the leak is. We just haven't found the pipe yet. So that's something that's coming up. We've got some plumbing problems, some stuff that needs to be taken care of drastically. Commodities, everything increases. The cost of cleaning supplies, all of it. So we just tried to take just will kind of cover me for the next 3 years. So. And then these are projects that are eventually going to come up that are going to hit us hard. So, and that's the windows. The boiler wasn't operating quite correctly towards the end of the year. Ed said he could probably tear it down and we could put some new couplers and stuff in it, and hopefully we'd get going. But this is some of the stuff. And then Ryan had said that we need to eventually go to a lockdown system. So it was around 20,000. Discussing it. And then the elevator eventually is going to need to be updated. And that's what we're trying on the equipment reserve, to put that extra money aside. So
Okay, right now you're set up for 10,000 for equipment reserve for this year, which will become available next year.
right.
However, you don't have anything in your account from prior years. So
No, they-
I can see that you have a need
Yes,
to project ahead.
right. Because
See, the
when,
treasurer just gave us
yeah.
the equipment account, and right now you're zero.
Yes, because when was that, Deb? They emptied them.
Yeah.
And so I
Okay.
have,
Yeah.
and like on the elevator, right now they have it where it's working more efficiently. Our main problem was that it was closing too quick. So the new elevator inspector, he does have that slowed down. But when the state inspector starts coming around, they are going to require us to update at least the bars, and that's the light bars on it, so it's safer for. So, just kind of want to be ready for that, and that itself is around $5,000. The others is something that's going to, the actual panel is in need of replacement. So we've kind of been, but that hopefully will wait. Just as like with our windows and stuff, I think it's something down the road to look at.
And I did get a hold of that Kurt Unrein, and he had some health concerns, and that was why, he came and talked to the board.
Yeah.
I can't remember when. But he was actually on site a day last week and walked around the building, and I sent him a year's worth of invoices for our electricity and a year's worth of invoices for our gas service. And so he's going to take a look at those and write up a recommendation as to what he sees, but I don't have any numbers back.
Yeah, we
from
don't.
him yet.
I have some calls to some people for some bids on energy efficient windows, tankless hot water heaters, some stuff that would save us money. And the boiler in itself is not very energy efficient. So, but we haven't got any bids back yet. So I don't even know what we're looking at with that.
Okay.
I think my main concern is having somebody, if we could start in January and start looking for some part-time help. I think it's important that we have some.
Okay.
What you doing, Ed? Got any spare time? No.
Any questions? Rodney?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you get your new lawnmower yet?
No, I haven't got it yet. They had to go ahead and order when nobody had one in stock. So,
Did Amanda get you her budgets?
No.
Thank
she's gonna
you.
give it to us Thursday. You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Is Dave in?
I asked him, and he said he didn't have his budgets done, and he was also in harvest. And
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen him today.
Come on up, Eric. Can we get a hold of Lauren White and try to get him over here, tell him we're running way ahead?
I don't think he's gonna come.
I think he's whacking it, too. Okay. So we may get out of here earlier.
Yes, Dan Blair brought in a budget, and I talked to Lauren this morning, but Dan brought in 2 budgets, and they're in the back. And one of the budgets is for combining for the city and St. Francis.
Where do you want to start?
Wherever you want to start.
Oh, I don't care. I'm easy to get along with. Since I don't know what I'm doing, I get to do 3 of them today.
Oh.
Not 1 extra.
You have sheriff too? Oh, good.
All right. So I think that one you got in front of you is dispatch 140. Okay. Kind of looking at the personnel, I've got a conundrum with an employee right now. He's went on leave for 2 weeks, planned, got real sick. He's out. We're going to pay him till the end of the month with expend all his sick leave and all that, and without getting into too much detail in this meeting. But I will get into detail with you on Thursday.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm still working on numbers as far as what I'm going to do in my department, but if he's going to be gone another 30 days, I'm probably going to have to hire somebody else full-time, possibly 2. And I do have 2 part-time employees now. I'm not sure if they will both be willing to do that, so it's just kind of up in the air, really. It's not very fun, so that's where the personnel numbers are kind of a little higher there for the end of this year. And next year's number, that 193,500, that's I think that's a fairly accurate representation of where we should be. And what that would include is possibly going to 8-hour shifts instead of staying on 12s. I see some performance issues after about 10 hours in a day, and I'm still weighing that out. I'm not sold on either way. I don't know. 12-hour shifts work great for some things, and they don't work great for others. Sherman County uses 8s. Rollins County uses 12s. So we're a long ways from deciding anything on that, but I am projecting that number because of 8 hours. Part of that also will be, as Carol mentioned, nobody's ever given clarification on whether I'm going to be hourly or salary. Half the time I'm sitting in the box, and that's an hourly pay. Department head, I guess, is salary. So I think Rodney had mentioned that we'd get clarification maybe from the county attorney on Thursday. Is that kind of what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Contractual, this year I think we're probably right on with that number. I don't see anything changing. Next year we're going to have 1 extra contract, and I threw that in there. Commodities, this year again, I don't see anything changing. With that extra computer we'll be adding next year, the commodities will increase as well. We'll have a different printer and stuff, so I think we'll have some more commodities to use up next year. Capital outlay, I don't know if I understand it as well as everybody else. So the transfer, I don't see us using that this year, so I assume that would transfer at the end of the year.
Capital outlay?
Well, what kind of equipment did you want for your capital outlay?
We're going to be buying a lot of equipment. With Interpol's agreement, we're going to add at least 2 new TVs and 2 switches and at least 2 printers. The pending thing on that is the internet. If we can't get faster internet upstairs and fix what we have down here, then none of this will work. But that's kind of what, without getting technical,
Eric, I might make a suggestion on your budget. If you're looking at Interpol equipment, I would definitely put some of that 20,000 in equipment reserve, because now that is equipment that you need for your department.
Okay.
So to me, that would be an equipment purchase, a major, and it is major.
Right.
The expenses are major. So rather than putting it in capital outlay, I'd set it aside in equipment reserve.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then-
that's why I was asking the question.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a suggestion.
Yeah. Well, I'm open for suggestions. Like I said, this is my first go around, so
Yeah, it's okay.
kind of dove in head first. Well, with that being said, I'd move the 20 up and the 3 down. Is that kind of what, that makes more sense to everybody? Okay.
Okay, equipment reserve, let's see. We'll see if they budgeted anything for you last year.
No, they didn't. And from what I understand.
Just 1,000 that'll be in this year's budget,
Right.
so,
Yeah, I think it's
yeah,
going to leave it
you're way
short.
underfunded in that respect.
Yeah. With the amount of equipment I have up there, I think I need to keep that number higher. If any piece of that equipment dies, we're looking at, the cheapest piece is about $5,000. So, and upgrades are mostly included in that, but there are a few that we may have to pay for along the line, so. I think that kind of hammers this out. Any questions?
So I do, the requested, you said move the 3,000 and the 20,000, that's your projected in.
Yes.
But what you're requesting from the board in 2017?
We could flip those two numbers too, I guess, the 15 and the 20. I know next year we're going to spend a lot on capital outlay.
Okay, so you're wanting 20,000 in equipment reserve and
Yeah.
15,000 in,
Yes.
okay.
Everybody's happy?
Well, we're educated. Maybe not happy, but we're educated.
And I didn't get down here with a copy of the computer budget.
You sent that to me, didn't you?
Yes.
I was just super busy.
Oh, that's fine.
Let me print it off.
Okay.
I came-
It's, so back in March, I think Cody and I and the board agreed to pay me more IT salary out of that budget, and that's never happened. And I can't find any documentation of it, and I don't know if you guys remember it.
To pay what?
Me a little more money for IT work out of the computer
It's-
budget, but I never have
I
received
think it's
it.
coming out of there.
I just haven't ever got the extra. I'm getting the same amount I was before, so, which is fine. I mean, it's whatever's whatever. I'm not getting it, but looking at the budget, I've added that in there. And so there's going to be a little personnel, because I think we decided we should fund that IT out of the computer budget. And what else is on there? The infrastructure of the courthouse, depending on what we decide on Thursday with phone and internet upgrades, is going to be huge. That the first quote I got was 40,000. I think we're about 50,000 for the phones right now. I think we've got that kind of money to spend on it now. In the future, I don't think we'll have it. So I feel pretty strongly about we need to do something with the phone upgrade. Our phone system's horrible. It's getting worse. This $2.30 a minute long distance is eating us up. We're spending. I didn't bring those numbers. I'll bring those Thursday. But we're for 6 months we've spent $15,000 on phone alone. That's way too much.
Yeah, we definitely have to do something on those phones.
So,
I mean, sure, it'll be a capital outlay right off the bat. But in a couple of years, we're gonna hit a break even. From then on, we're gonna see a savings.
yeah.
Well,
And analog-
15,000 a month, it ain't gonna take that damn long.
I know, it could,
It could be less than 2, but that's kind of where I'm projecting it, just so we're covered. CYA on that.
it's better to project long than short and miss it. Then you get criticized by the word of mouth
Yeah.
crew in the community, and we don't need that.
That never happens here.
Never?
Never happens here.
Okay, computer.
You all right?
I didn't know that joke.
Like a frog. Let's see. So the personnel, I think that we talked about that. That makes sense that that would be adjusted for the total of 700 a month instead of the 412. Like I say, Cody and I remember it. The attorney remembers it. I don't know what you guys remember, but like I said, it's not documented anywhere that I can find. So I guess we'll let it go until we can adjust it. Contractual, it's pretty much the same. This year is going to be a tick higher, I think, and that will be based on what we do with phones. And next year, obviously, will be a little higher yet, depending on the phone and internet upgrades.
So 8,400 is 400 a month times 12.
That's 700.
700 a month.
Currently, I'm getting 412.
288 a month
Okay.
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. Yep. Like I say, that's Cody and I may have just made that up in our heads, but we both agree that that's what we had, so that's what I went with. Commodities, a little bit more next year.
I should have printed an extra one.
Oh, that's fine. I got it upside down. So that's just standard stuff there. Right? Commodities, printers, blah blah blah, ribbon, ink. Eventually, they're probably again going to what we decide Thursday on phones and internet. It'd probably be a print server in the server room, just for ease of use. I think that would make things easier for me anyway. So there'd be a little commodities there. Total capital outlay. And this year, I think we're right on. Next year, increase that because of the increase in infrastructure, I think, with routers, switches, cabling, everything it's going to take to get this system where we want it. It's going to be a big jump. And the total budget for this number is quite increase that because of whatever we decide Thursday, hopefully Thursday.
Did this used to be 1,750 instead of 17,500?
No, I think that's 17,500
17,000.
because of everything we're going to have to purchase to get where we're going.
This year.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm not sure I understand your capital outlay on a computer, but well, you got $500 for equipment this year,
Print one more off there.
Oh, I got a little yellow note somewhere.
and then you have a grand total in that area of 17,500.
Well, maybe I misrepresented those numbers backwards again.
Yeah, I understand this.
So this is including the expenses on equipment that I think we're going to incur this year.
Okay.
With all the new equipment that
Yeah.
we're going to have.
But right now,
switches,
all you have is 1,000 available.
right. Yeah, we're gonna be
Yeah,
over,
oh, yeah.
so,
Okay.
does that,
That I understand. now.
okay,
That's what I was afraid.
yeah.
That's why I asked the question.
So if, yeah, I mean, to me, I guess I don't know which way is better, but it's on the paper, so. No more questions for that one? Everybody's happy?
No. But I'm a realist.
All right. Oh. Let's see. Cody's. I didn't look at it, but I do have a note from him. Said personnel reflects the Austin Peter pay scale and level moves.
Unless we've got it, do we have it? We don't have it, do we?
No, he did have these turned in ahead of time.
He said he might show up after bid, so
Okay.
if he shows up before you leave, I guess he can come visit with you.
Okay.
Otherwise, he said it's pretty basic, so straightforward. Is that it? Is that all you want from me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You can explain Cody's, and then you don't have to go.
I explained it. Personnel went up because of Austin Peters.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what else? You said I didn't look at it. So
We can look at it.
My-
If we have a question, we'll
I
let
mean-
him know.
we'll go.
We don't want to put you in
Obviously-
the spotlight too much.
I didn't.
Well, actually, we might.
I didn't get into too much detail, but obviously my personnel went up and increased because of the 3% cost of living. I mean, I figured that in there, but I think you all would know that. I just
Right.
explained the black and white to you. I hope. I mean, if you
Dot
want,
to dot?
huh?
Dot to dot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want detailed, pretty printouts with pictures, I can bring them. I don't think we're wasting time on paper, so.
We got a short chance for a little break right here. I'd like to go into executive session
Shut her off.
Okay.
to discuss fire department.